Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we are diving into 4 Seconds, a practical guide by Peter Bregman on how to transform self-defeating habits into successful practices. Bregman, the CEO of Bregman Partners Inc. and a best-selling author, offers wisdom drawn from his extensive experience in coaching leaders to achieve their goals. His insights have been featured in prestigious publications like Forbes, Psychology Today, and Harvard Business Review. In 4 Seconds, Bregman introduces the simple yet profound concept of pausing for 4 seconds to intercept impulsive responses, allowing for more thoughtful and effective communication in work, personal relationships, and everyday encounters. This short pause can make the difference between a regretful reaction and a strategic response, equipping you to face unexpected challenges with grace and composure. This book is a must-read for anyone who senses a need to improve their communication skills, desires to break free from counterproductive habits, or simply seeks to manage stress more effectively with straightforward solutions. Whether you're a professional striving for better results or an individual looking to enhance personal interactions, 4 Seconds provides the tools to help you prepare for anything by simply taking a breath first. Join us as we explore how to leverage these 4 seconds for lasting change. 4 seconds, all the time you need to stop counterproductive habits and get the results you want. Introduction. Harness the power of 4 seconds for smarter decision-making. Imagine this: in just 4 brief seconds, the time it takes to inhale and exhale deeply, you can transform the way you make decisions. It's often under the duress of stress that we make our worst choices, ones that undermine our preparations or create unnecessary conflict. But what if you could harness those 4 seconds to make a change for the better? 4 Seconds, authored by Peter Bregman, uncovers the remarkable potential of these brief moments. It nurtures the seeds of thought that, with just a bit of pause, can shift us away from self-sabotage. It offers insightful ways to reshape damaging habits into successful outcomes. As you dive into this narrative, you'll be guided through strategies to cultivate habits that not only benefit you, but also forge stronger connections with others. You'll also learn how to fine-tune your work habits for peak effectiveness. And there's more. You'll unravel the layers behind achieving your goals and understand why aiming for them can sometimes be a path to dishonesty. Discover why the art of listening reigns supreme in effective communication. Plus, find out the significance of celebrating your victories openly. Ready to learn how to stop, breathe, and make smarter choices? Let's unravel the wisdom contained within 4 short seconds. Part 1. Breathe deeply to pivot from stress to productivity. Stress can send us spiraling into habits that are anything but helpful. We've all been there. The pressure mounts, and suddenly, we're raising our voices or sparking unnecessary confrontations. But what if I told you that reshaping these knee-jerk responses into something constructive is as simple as, well, breathing? The magic lies within a brief pause, lasting as long as a deep, calming inhalation followed by a steady exhale. That's right, just 4 seconds. Ample time to reset and gear up for better choices. Imagine the morning chaos. Kids running around, the clock ticking, and the persistent battle to get them to brush their teeth is pushing you to the brink. Shouting seems imminent, but there's a different path. You stop and breathe deeply for 4 precious seconds. Clarity emerges. A playful solution presents itself over the fury of reprimand. But the trick doesn't stop at breathing. Pinpointing an area of focus rather than being tied down by a rigid goal sets a course for consistency in your pursuits, free of the seductive shortcut to cheat. Take, for example, the tale of a store owner entangled in the drive to boost sales. His team, fixated on the end goal, strayed into murky ethical waters, grossly misrepresenting products for the coveted sale. A pivot to an area of focus changed everything. By centering on customer engagement rather than sheer revenue, the staff's conduct improved and, lo and behold, sales organically followed suit. It's not just about where you set your sights. Sometimes, all it needs is a 4-second pause to breathe and recalibrate your attention toward a more wholesome and effective focus. Part 2. Embrace the process, not just the outcomes, for daily success. Our days are whirlwinds of activity, challenges, and the unexpected. Without a strategy to handle what comes our way, we're often left scrambling. And that's when mistakes that waste our time and resources happen. Picture this. You stride into the office, coffee in hand, only to realize you're leading today's meeting, something you'd completely forgotten. Panic sets in as new faces peer curiously at you, expecting leadership and guidance. With no preparation, you have no choice but to postpone, squandering everyone's time. To avert such crises, shift your focus. Instead of preparing for specific outcomes, ready yourself for processes. Life is unpredictable, but embracing the fluidity of situations arms you with adaptability. Here's a 3-step method to steer through the unforeseen. Firstly, when surprised, whether at the helm of a meeting or caught in an unexpected storm while sailing, take a moment. Those 4 vital seconds to breathe in deeply and exhale just as slowly. Give your mind space to think clearly. Next up, weigh your options with the resources and knowledge at your disposal. If you're out at sea facing a squall, evaluate. Should you press on or head back to shore? Finally, commit to your choice confidently. After considering the conditions and concluding the storm is passing, you decide to keep sailing. With conviction, you accept this as the best move under the circumstances. Regularly sprinkling your day with these 4-second pauses not only curbs stress, but also better equips you with a mindful approach to challenges. By prioritizing process-oriented preparation, you hone habits that don't just anticipate solutions, but embrace the journey towards them. Part 3. Mastering communication, the art of concentrating on message over manner. In a world brimming with distractions, it's alarmingly easy to miss the essence of a message, simply because we're fixated on the way it's delivered. A harsh tone or a curt email can derail our focus from what's truly being said. To be a better communicator, it's essential to acknowledge these pitfalls and train ourselves to look beyond the surface. Think about it. You've been eagerly awaiting a call about a job interview, but instead you receive a terse email with a rejection. The delivery stings. There's no voice to convey empathy, no personal touch. But wait. Take a 4-second breather. Focus on the substance of the email, not the method. Is there a hint of future possibilities nestled within those lines? Leverage that. Reach out with a phone call, changing the medium, and perhaps the course of the conversation. Now, let's consider arguments. They seldom lead to any constructive outcome. Rather, they entrench us further into our positions. Imagine clinging to your view in a heated debate. The likelihood of conceding to a newfound flaw in your argument mid-argument is slim. You're too invested in winning. Here's an alternative. Embrace the potent strategy of listening. This non-threatening tool makes others feel valued and understood, opening up a channel where they are more likely to consider your perspective. Drop the temptation to overpower in an argument and engage in active listening instead. By listening, you pave the way for genuine dialogue and stand a better chance of guiding the conversation towards a mutually satisfying endpoint. In sharpening your communication skills, remember this golden rule. Content trumps presentation, and listening trumps arguing, every time. Part 4. Cultivate stronger bonds by managing expectations and expressing gratitude. We flit between countless interactions each day, encountering an array of personalities along the way. Surprisingly, the key to building stronger connections might not lie in how people behave towards us, but in how we manage our expectations of them. Imagine assuming that everyone will act as you do, adhering to your own norms and standards. This flawed mindset sets us up for disappointment, as it's unrealistic to expect others to be reflections of ourselves. Instead, by embracing their uniqueness and treating them as they desire to be treated, we sidestep unnecessary frustration and pave the way for more harmonious relationships. One powerful way to fortify these bonds is to practice vocalizing our appreciation for others. It's a common misconception that material tokens or financial perks are enough to express our gratitude. Think about receiving a bonus at work, tucked neatly in an envelope with no note attached. Sure, it rewards your professional efforts, but does it make you feel valued as an individual? Hardly. To genuinely convey your gratitude, shift from giving impersonal gifts to expressing heartfelt appreciation. Let those around you know that you cherish them for their very essence, not merely for the tasks they perform or the benefits they provide you. A simple, sincere acknowledgement of their worth goes further than any object or sum of money. By tweaking our expectations and sharing our gratitude openly, we nurture relationships that are not just strong, but also deeply rooted in respect and affection. Now is the time to implement this habit of appreciation. Watch as the bonds with those around you grow stronger day by day. Part 5. Embrace mistakes and celebrate wins together for better performance. On the winding road of professional growth, we're bound to encounter roadblocks and detours. Unfortunately, we may develop habits that do more harm than good, stunting our own progress and that of our colleagues. So how do we break free from these patterns and fully engage in the learning process? The first step is acknowledging that failure isn't just acceptable, it's necessary. Learning is a journey that involves missteps and adjustments, not a quest for immediate perfection. For instance, consider teaching a child to ride a bicycle. If you prevent every fall by catching them mid-wobble, they'll never experience the recovery process that's vital for mastering balance and building confidence. The same logic applies in a corporate setting. As a leader, it's your duty to keep the organization safe, but overprotecting your team from failure hampers their development. When an employee stumbles during an important presentation, instead of swooping in, evaluate their effort and focus on the lessons learned. This is how you nurture resilience and skill building. Yet, it's not just about accepting failures. It's equally crucial to share triumphs. Success in the workplace is seldom the result of one person's efforts. Recognize that collective achievements are the sum of many contributions. It's this shared sense of accomplishment that fuels motivation, driving efficiency and effectiveness within your team. To maximize work habits, abandon the practice of singling out individuals for praise. Embrace a more inclusive approach, acknowledging everyone's part in the victories. When employees see their efforts reflected in the success of the organization, they're inspired to continue pushing boundaries and striving for excellence. Part 6. Transforming negative vibes and criticism into constructive energy. At some point, we all grapple with negativity, whether during a tense moment at the office or while cheering on your favorite sports team. These feelings, however, rarely inspire our best work. Let's explore strategies for turning negativity into an opportunity for growth and improvement. The first rule is simple: never counteract someone's negativity directly. Doing so undermines their feelings, potentially cementing their negative stance. Consider a team bogged down by pessimism and a manager's attempts to inject positivity flop. Such situations require a nuanced approach. When faced with a downbeat colleague, engage in a three-step process. Start by acknowledging their feelings. Understanding begets understanding. Then, if you've experienced similar emotions, share your story. It builds empathy. Finally, rather than debating their perspective, shift the focus to something they feel positive about. This gentle guidance can often reset the emotional tone. Complementing this tactic is another essential skill: accepting criticism graciously. Consider negative feedback as an opportunity rather than an affront. Here's how you can practice this. Acknowledge the sting of criticism. It's natural to feel hurt or frustrated. Create a mental compartment for these emotions. They're valid, but shouldn't hinder your ability to listen. Realize that the critic may lack finesse in communication, so concentrate on the essence of their remarks. Position yourself neutrally, as an observer, neither agreeing nor disagreeing instantly. Listen intently to understand the underlying message. Lastly, allow yourself a moment of pause, perhaps another 4-second breath, before you ponder their words. With some reflection, you'll be better equipped to discern what changes, if any, could be beneficial. By learning to neutralize adversity and embrace critique, you cultivate a positive shift in yourself and your environment. This mindset not only optimizes your work habits, but also sets a tone of constructive engagement and continuous personal development. Final summary. In the fleeting moment it takes to draw a breath, we're granted an opportunity for change. 4 seconds presents a simple yet profound concept that the brief pause for a deep breath can be the turning point from self-defeating habits to actions that propel us forward. This mindful respite gives us the clarity to reroute our automatic responses into deliberate, beneficial actions. Whether it's facing criticism with grace, silencing negativity, or simply improving daily interactions, the power of a 4-second pause is a mighty tool. In the face of challenges, whether dealing with disheartened teammates or receiving tough feedback, we can shift the dynamic. Instead of reacting on impulse, we breathe, reflect, and turn the situation to our advantage. 4 seconds is more than just a technique. It's a philosophy for living better, thinking clearer, and fostering relationships that thrive on communication and mutual respect. It teaches us that within the span of a breath, we hold the capacity to reshape our lives, one decision at a time. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.